Welcome to the Bean Patch.
So before we get started, I just want everyone to know that I am not an A&P mechanic. This is the way I'm doing it, and I am certainly not advocating that you do any repairs to your aircraft the way that I do. This is the way I do it. If you look at, you can't see it, but right here in big letters it says experimental. And on the dash is a little piece of paper from the government that says experimental. And so any repairs that you do to your aircraft, you are responsible for. I don't want to hear anyone calling and saying I did it your way and it failed. All right, with that being said, let's get going. Hi, and welcome back to the Bean Patch. Today we're going to put that spring on the exhaust and make that safe for flight. We're going to show you how to do that right now, so come along. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove this old wire. We'll just clip that, remove it. This wire was just being used as extra safety because the original wire I cut off when I took the old spring off. What we're going to do is we're going to take the new spring with the bend facing up, place it in the exhaust clip, and then we're going to take the other end and stretch it and drop it into place. We're then going to take our .041 safety lock wire and we're going to cut about 9 inches off of it. You're going to want to take your wire and feed it through the exhaust bracket, through the spring, through the other side, and through the other side of the bracket, like such. And you'll bring it back to the other end, like that, and now we're ready to put a little spin on it. Now with our safety pliers, we're going to want to get a good bite at the end. Now some safety pliers can tend to cause wire to break, so you want to be careful of the type you use. If they have teeth in them, you want to be sure to not gouge the wire. So we're just going to put a spin on this. An A&P friend of mine told me about 12 turns per inch is acceptable, if I remember right, when he was in A&P school. So our spring is nice and tight. 11, 12, about 12 turns there. Loosen our pliers. We'll cut off the end here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this end of the safety wire and just bend it back up onto the spring assembly. And what we'll do is we'll cover that with the silicone. And that way, when you're doing an inspection, you don't tend to get that sharp barb in a finger and then have to pull out the first aid kit before you ever leave the ground. And then you're going to want to take your red RTV gasket maker and you're going to want to put a nice amount on the wire. Covering the spring. And what you're going to do is you're going to want to embed the silicone through the wire and into the spring so that if the spring should break, the silicone and the wire hold the spring on. Just put a little extra right here. And we'll look around and see if there's anywhere else on any of the other springs that could use a little bit of a retouch up, a redo.